What's going on, everyone? Today is August 23rd, 2023. This is your midweek review. It is Wednesday, and I hope everyone's had a great trading week. Hope everyone's had a safe trading week. And we are going to go ahead and do a quick little review on dollar and ES, if that is what you're following. With regards to dollar, on my end of things, we did end up taking the buy-side liquidity pool, the higher end of it, that I talked about on Sunday. Now I'm moving a little bit neutral on dollar to see where the week closes out. I'm curious to see if we close above or below the SIBI that has been kind of our inversion model that we've used the past week or two, which is this small little SIBI right here. I'm also taking the May 22nd Monday candle, which is this up close candle. I'm using it as an order block, right? Highest up close candle into a swing point that then breaks some form of sell side liquidity. I'm curious to see if we respect the mean threshold. As you can see, we spiked up into it, but then also kind of laid off the gas a little bit and came back down. And so now I'm curious to see if this candle acts as an order block, which means we overall respect a little bit more sensitive than the first time going through it, the mean threshold of it. But if price does decide to get back below the SIBI, right, do we have something that looks like this, right? If we can get back below it, do we have something that, do we overall respect this candle, right? So to the downside, potentially something like that. To the upside, I would potentially want price to, if we go in on daily, if we are going to continue higher on dollar, I would more so want price to just come in here, right? Visit this area and maybe just range in this area. It could just be a little bit more of, the week ranging, right? I don't see price ending this week potentially below 103. I also don't really see it getting above the weekly high at 104, right? So don't be surprised if we stay in between 103 and 104 for the rest of the week. I'm neutral on it, so I can't really guide whether or not it's something that it wants to do. The only thing that I can say is we've pushed up into the mean threshold of the order block. We've taken that buy side liquidity up here. So I think price is going to stall a little bit, and it'll kind of maybe show its hand next week. Curious to see where we close on the week though too, right? I'm curious to see if after the week's over with, are we closed above or below this SIBI, right? I think that that's going to be a key factor going into next week's direction also. But I am neutral on dollar right now that we've taken that buy side liquidity pool. I need a little bit more information to gauge it. You know this, you've seen this with me, and it should be like this time and time again as you continue to trade. There's times where the market's going to give you stuff that you can dial in on and follow and accurately understand where and why it's going there. There's going to be times where you're just going to need more information. Right now, for the past 2 weeks actually, we've had an understanding of where dollar was going and why it was going there, and it delivered. Now I'm a little neutral. I'm going to let off on my analysis and kind of let the market provide me more information. But yeah, that's about it. Henry, you good? You ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay.
You will start your screen share.
I think that's it. All right, here on ES, we're starting with the weekly chart. So a bit more neutral on ES as well, just like we are on the dollar. But we'll just take a look at what's happened at the start of this week and where we could maybe go into this Thursday and Friday. So last week we came down and closed the sell side liquidity on this June 26th weekly candle and came into returning back into this high side imbalance, which was previously pretty. And then just falling short of this right here on the weekly chart. And there's one in the daily there as well. So that's what we were kind of looking for when we talked about on Sunday. We did fall just a bit shy of it and then have to come reversing off to immediately rebound this candle right here. So this candle lower, and this candle here, and then right back into the real button. On the daily, here we can see on Monday, just dropping down below body of Friday's candle, pushing into the wick, and then reversing up here to take out the high and trade up into this SIBI on the daily chart, which we're looking at as a potential area to trade lower off of. And when we go into the lower time frames, we can see we briefly got that before it traded back up and up off. You can see up there. And then going into today, trading up into the higher this is here after converting this one. And now we've had a large gap opening. So just looking at the daily chart, going into Thursday and Friday, we could potentially see price trade a little bit higher up into the premium of this range. High, all the way down below. We've got midpoint right here. And then just looking for some premium arrays up here. So you have this up close candle here, and this order block right there. So you can see this as a propulsion block. So you're just looking for price to potentially trade back down a bit into the opening range gap that we see here, and then up towards this order block here, the motion block, the equilibrium, and then potentially back into the low of this weekly BC, which we inverted right here, and also this previous liquidity build on the weekly chart. So let me just quickly go down into the hourly chart so we can get a view of what happened. Here is Friday's close down here. There's Friday's lows right here. So this was Friday's low. And on Monday, we traded up to the buy side liquidity, reached into this imbalance, this city, which we talked about on Sunday's call, which closely aligns with the consequent encroachment of this city on the daily chart. Drop down one more time to close sell side liquidity, and then trade back higher. Use this as a breaker right here. So we got lower, high, lower, low, and then the high is purged. And then you can see if you take this up close candle right here and drag it out, you can see the responsiveness here and here, here. Also take this city, which we used in here, and invert that, drag it all the way out to the roof. And then you can see how it's used again here, here, and here after you get the closure back above it. Today's action, we drop down back one more time into this inverted city, also into the breaker, and then also just under the lows of these candle bodies right here. So that'd be a rejection drop, dropping just down into there, and then running up to trade above the buy side and reaching up into this higher daily city. And then going into the close here, we get the close above it, tap down into the consequent encroachment, and now we've had this large price move up just after the close of the day, which I think is on video. But now, just looking into tomorrow, potentially trading back into this opening range gap, so a bit lower, and then looking our way up toward the premium of the daily range up here. And then we have buy side up here if it does get really extended, which you can see on the daily chart as well. That's it. Next question.
Yeah, that's about it. Pretty short and easy. Guys, remember to please
Stop screen share.
Continue sending in testimonials. Anyone who sends us a testimonial, we are marking down who's sending them. You're going to have 1 week early access to the platform before everyone else does. So please keep that in mind. That 1 week before we launch, you guys will have access to it fully in depth 1 week prior to everyone else. So please send us testimonials. It means more than you guys think. It does a lot for us. And make sure that you add where you are from. That is key too. Other than that, that's about it. Please have a safe rest of your week trading. If you've traded and you've exceeded where you needed to be, stop, right? It's Wednesday. Even though there is news coming out, we do have news tomorrow. We do have news Friday. Wherever you are in your trading, handle it how you know you need to handle it. Aside from that, that is about it on my end. Henry, you got anything else?
Yeah, safe the rest of the week, and we'll get you all
Attached in the email too will be the link for Sunday at 10 a.m. like usual. That's about it. And I hope to see you there. Thank you so much. Have a good day.